26 at this point in time, so yeah, we'll sit back here as a match committee just after this and go through to finalise that. Ideally we want to give 22 blokes a good run, but more than likely there'll be 2 or 3 that we need just on standby just in case something happens. Because if you look at that game last night, she's pretty hot right now too, so we want to make sure the boys get a good hit out in preparation for round 1, but we might need a few up our sleeves just in case a few boys get sore. We can only ever play 22 at one time, but we can take one out and replace it with another player, and you can do that with up to 4. So we'll just, like I said, we'll have a good chat about it this afternoon and go through what we want. Crouch? Yeah, no, he's going well. Yeah, trained really well. So he's one that certainly we want to give priority to tomorrow. He needs a good hit out on Sunday. Yeah, they're in the 26. Yeah, so like I said, we'll just have a chat and see where that's at. But it'd be great for both those 2 boys to get a bit of a run at some stage.
What's impressed you about
Big Filthy? I think he's cleanest, to tell you the truth. Whether it's on the ground or in the air, it's just one take. Very rarely fumbles. And he's got a good ability of knowing when the ball's going to go. So, yeah, look, he's certainly talent. It'd be nice to get him in Sunday, if he gets in Sunday, just for a look. But like I said, we've still got a chat this afternoon to see where that all sits.
Just given his issues he had last year with his body, I mean, pro fans probably want to see him out there, from Sunday round 1. I mean, how you kind of have to temper that in a way, given that, he's still young, still developing.
I'm not sure. Crow fans want to see him, there's no doubt, but I think if we go towards the end of the year, if we see Riley for 10, 12, 13 games, I think we'll be pretty happy. And it's a good question because we've got to be careful with someone like Riley, who's missed a fair bit of footy and hasn't done the complete pre-season. And Sammy Berry's the other one that you mentioned, didn't play at all last year because of COVID. And they get here really, they don't start training till post-Christmas. So they're not quite as hard and conditioned and as fit as what an AFL player would be that's been here for 3 or 4 years. Yeah, we'll weigh that up. We're still got to go through that. I know it's unfair and people want to know, but we'll go through and have a chat this afternoon in more detail with that. No, very good. We're actually lucky, I think, in with what it could have been. Had a scan. Nothing really showed up on the scan, so he's just a little bit tight. One of those ones that we just don't want to take any risks at all. He's been in really good form for us throughout the pre-season. Very solid last week. I think he hasn't missed a session at all since we've started, so just to miss this game, he's in very good physical nick, fit. It might be a good freshen up for him going into round 1. We're just getting to the pointy end, and we've got the obviously got to try and narrow it down to 22. Like I said, there'll be a couple of carryovers. We played 26 last week, so there's always going to be a few that come out, especially with Matty Crouch coming back in. Fish and Jacko, we've been pretty happy with them. They're going quite well. At the same time, with Jacko, you get a Matty Crouch coming back in. We really need to get midfield time minutes into our midfield at this point in time. Come from a different club, he's probably just learning how his teammates play a little bit as well. And Fish, like I said, has been improving over this period, been a little bit interrupted in the pre-season. But we've been extremely happy with the way Butts is going, and we'd like to give Nick Murray another opportunity before we make a decision post-game of whether we use that pick in the SSP.
Yeah, so does that mean that even though he isn't signed on to the club, is Nick Murray ahead of Fish at the moment? Or?
Well, not really. I mean, we're looking at this game still. This isn't round 1, remember, as well. So round 1's still in 2 weeks' time, and this team will change from round 1. Ideally, you want to have a pretty good look at the players that are playing, but there'll certainly be players for us that will play SNFL tomorrow that are well in the mix to play round 1.
Do you need to see anything else from that? Has he done everything he needs to do to play?
I would think so. That question's probably more to do with the conditioning boys as well. But from what I've seen, the way he's trained, the way he's moved, I've been really impressed considering he missed a bit before Christmas and a little bit post. But he's come back in and looked quite sharp and has covered the ground quite well. Like I said, he's one that we'll just give priority to tomorrow. He needs the minutes and we'll make sure he gets them.
Do they play the whole game, or what's the plan?
Not the whole game, in the sense that he might be there from the start of the game to the end, but we'll certainly be making sure that he's getting plenty of rest in quarters when he needs it, and then we'd probably make assessment at three-quarter time with him on how he looks, whether he needs another little hit out or if he's looking quite sharp. But yeah, it's been really impressive the last week and a half with Tommy and getting up, getting fit again. And like I said about Matty covering the ground, Tommy's actually looked quite explosive with his legs again, and he's certainly ready to go. But we wanted him at the lower end in terms of putting him up in an AFL game and high intensity game, so he can find his own way tomorrow.
Just going back to Nick Murray, I mean, how has he been going? He looks like he's been going quite well during pre-season so far, and probably in a strong position to get a spot on the list.
Yeah, look, we've been really happy with Nick's pre-season. He's, like I said, he's one of those boys that didn't play much footy last year because of what happened in the Eastern States with the COVID situation. Played a little bit of footy at GWS the year before that in the reserves. I think he was on a tractor harvesting for a long part, and before he got over. So he's come from a long way back, but in terms of his ability to be able to not miss a session since he's been here, improving the weights, improve his, his physical output. Yeah, he's put himself up there, but like I said, we're going to have a good look at him tomorrow. We know the Port Adelaide forwards, especially their key forwards, are pretty strong, so we're throwing him into the fire, but it's a great test for him, and I think he's wrapped for the opportunity.
I guess he's thrown him to the fire, but kind of same for Jordan. Which is what with Daniel Carly, it's still out still. We don't know when he's back. I mean, the Port Adelaide Sunday, and Geelong round one with Hawkins and Jeremy Cameron. So kind of giving the young key defender goes back.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get it done as well. But Jordan's a little bit different to Nick. He's had a good 3 years in the system. I'm sure for everyone who watched the game last week, he's not an easy defender to beat. And whilst Charlie kicked a few goals, I reckon he'd be sitting at home after the game, Charlie, going, well, he's not easy to get a kick on. So we've been really impressed with Butsy. Tails isn't there, but that happens sometimes. Not our best 22 or our most senior 22 we'll be playing week in, week out. So sometimes young fellas are going to get the opportunity and they've got to step up, and Butsy's certainly done that.
Scott, you had something now with the guys. What have you learned about them as a defensive group? Is there something that's caught your eye? How would you assess where you're at?
As a defensive group, I won't just say the defensive players. I talk about it as a team. Yeah, look, we're still in the process of fine-tuning some things, and as we've mentioned here, with Tommy and Tails not there too, we're looking at other things at this point in time. Like I said, it is a work in progress. Really positive with the way the boys have attacked training, and the way they've picked up or kicked on from where they finished up last year. But what's ahead, I'm not sure. But we're really confident that there's certainly improvement in us from last season.
Just one on Blair's obviously signed 5 years.
Yep.
Been a pretty resilient character around the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's a favourite inside the four walls, and players certainly happy. Coaches are certainly happy, and he's one of those characters, I think, and we've had a few signed lately, so hopefully that's starting to display to everyone out there and our members and supporters that people want to be here at the footy club, so we're wrapped to have Leedy for 5 years.
Scott, can I just ask, last year, obviously the hub situation was difficult for lots of players and staff. Is there a sense of relief at this stage? It doesn't look like it's going to happen again, that you're prepared? Do you have contingencies for that sort of thing?
Yeah, look, it was tough. I mean, especially when you've got really close mates as coaches or on coaching staff, and half of them get put off and half of them stay. That was tough to deal with at that point in time. And then for myself, you're not with your family for nearly 3 months, 12 weeks, so that makes it hard. And they're at home doing on-school learning as well, which your partners probably need to chop out at times. So all that was tough. And the other thing, just even last night, just watching the footy though, just to have people back in the stands in Melbourne especially, was great. So we've got our fingers crossed that nothing happens. The good thing, the unfortunate thing is that we've been through it before, so we know what to expect if it does happen, but fingers crossed we don't get to that stage again.